beefing up our Freddy Krueger a little bit. We're gonna make him look a little bit better. The first thing that we did is we got a bandana here, kind of an old one that I had, and put it around his neck. Let's turn the light off. And this kind of covers up that little gap that they have there. And also it don't look too bad on him. Maybe throw a red one on him. But yeah, that's pretty good. If you notice his shoulders, on this side I put no padding on here. It's very flat. And if you can tell this side, I put a little bit of padding in there so it's more of a curve, so it's more realistic. So we're gonna pad the other side. All I did was take some bubble wrap, and that's all I'm doing for this. I tore a little piece off and kind of padded it right here so it goes down on a little bit on an angle, and it makes it look a little bit more realistic. You can tell the left side from the right side looks a little bit, you know, a little bit better. If you really want to buff them up, I can put a little bit more there, but we don't want to stretch that material too much in the plastic. So now we got both shoulders done. Looks a little bit better. This one's a little bit higher than that, but it gives it kind of like a little bit of definition. What I will say is when you're trying to stuff plastic up under here and going all the way up, there's 2 layers of hard plastic here that you don't want to ruin. They're attached to this button here. There's like a ridge right here. So while you're going up with the plastic, try not to go underneath that ridge. You don't want to mess up anything underneath there, but so far we got the shoulders done and I kind of like how it's looking. We're going to buff up the arms, I think, next, or the legs. So we're starting to do the right side. Now, I will say this is a lot harder to do. You have to kind of get your hand in here and push this bubble wrap all the way to the top. But you can see I got a piece in there, and you could totally tell the difference already. His arm is already starting to look a little bit more buff there. We don't want him to look like he's on steroids or anything. We don't want him to look like he's a flat piece of paper either. So now we got the right arm buffed up a little bit. Looks a lot better. It's got a lot more definition to it. I was going to put a piece of Velcro on the inside of this sleeve to keep it from falling back, but it's not really falling. So I think I'm just going to leave it as is. But you can tell how that arm is compared to how flat this one is. This one's going to be a little bit more trickier because this is the one, the animatronic side, that actually goes up and down. So we're going to have to be more careful and see what's going on in here. Make sure there's no wires or anything that gets tangled, but feels like it's fairly much the same. But it's already starting to look a little bit better. See from the side too. Yeah, it looks pretty flat, don't it? Yeah, we'll beef that up. So now I got the left arm done. This one's a little bit harder to do. It's easier just to take this claw off and kind of get stuff in there. I think the hardest part really is trying to get this part right here. But once you get everything in there, you could kind of move things around and make it so it's less muscular or a little bit more muscular. Kind of get some parts that are like flat and kind of like the bubble wrap gives you like movement to kind of adjust it on how you want it. So I think it's definitely looking a lot better already. It looks more lifelike, more realistic. And we'll move down to his drawers down here. So I decided to go ahead and use some Velcro. This is the Velcro I'm using. You can get it anywhere. I think I got this at the dollar store. And you just get a strip, cut a small piece, use one end for one end and one end for the other end. So what I did is I just put a small piece here, and then as you can see when you flip the band, there's the other piece. We pull that up and it locks into place, and then the shirt is going to come down and cover that up. You're not even going to know. But I put one on this side too. I probably could have put it a little bit higher. I'm going to put one on this side too. I don't think I'm going to do the back just because the wires are back here, so that makes it a little bit odder. Unless I put the Velcro above the plugs there, maybe that'll work. But the more I started to fill in these up, the more they kind of sagged. So you can see it's already starting to look better. We got like from that point down. So after we get the Velcro on there, we're gonna fill this top up here, and then I think my man should be done. So now we got this beefed up a bit more. I like how it looks a lot better. I think it looks 100 times more better than before. Maybe put a little bit more padding over there. It's kind of hard to get some padding towards the top, but you just kind of keep smashing it in there and it gets in there. I wanted to buff his chest up a little bit, but there's really no way to do it too much. On the Myers one, I stuffed pillows in there and that worked, but also his jacket zips down and it's a whole different like inside. So yeah, I'm very happy at how this came out with just using a pile of bubble wrap. So we buffed up his arm a little bit here, gave him a little bit of more of a texture through this bandana on him. We hid this ugly button that's there. Buffed up his legs a little bit.
I'm gonna split you in two. Skin the cat.
I think he looks a lot better. We'll try turning the light on. Might be too bright, I don't know.
Come to Freddy. Welcome to my nightmare.
Try one more.
Come on, Freddy sent you.
So let me know what you guys think, if it looks better, if it did a good job.
What's wrong? Did someone have a nightmare? My knives are knives, but they look much better when they're in your stomach.
Yeah, as simple as it is, I think it makes it look a lot more better. Especially when you're looking from the side. It's not a flat body. Kind of it just fits in. It fits in way better. Of course, Freddy is a fan of He-Man. They're actually friends. So, you know, that's a whole other story. So after looking at Freddy for a day, I kept staring at the height compared to Michael Myers, and it just kept bothering me more and more. So I tried to figure out a way to kind of make him a little bit taller, kind of on the same height as Michael Myers over there. And I figured out a way that works pretty good. You just gotta kind of be careful so he doesn't topple over. So he moves a little bit, wobbles a little bit, but it's not too bad. So what I did here is I just took a sheet that kind of matches my rug color here. I was either going to use this or I was going to use a black one, but I decided to go with this color instead because I don't really use this sheet. But basically I just took 2 boxes that were of similar length. I mean, if you can use one, that'd be better. Make sure they're pretty sturdy. And I lifted them up from the bottom and then kind of dropped them on. You got to kind of be careful because the way you assemble this is with pulls. So, like, stupidly, I picked them up from the middle and tried to pick them up, and he just detached. So all the stuffing and stuff I put in there, I had to redo. You don't want to get them too high in the air because then you're kind of looking up and you're seeing this kind of gap that you have to fix here. And you see the stuff underneath, which kind of sucks.